Hi there, it's Jilly. I wanted to show how I make hash browns. I made them this morning and I actually got the idea from Rachel Ray a really long time ago. She used to make 30-minute meals and I loved them. And this is something that I've used like forever. So I took a potato, I washed it really well. I left some of the skin on just to give it like a little bit more color. And I'm doing this looking through my phone. I have it on a little tripod, so I'm gonna slice and try not to cut myself. But I take the potato, it's raw, it's not cooked, and I slice it into kind of thin pieces. I try to make them about the same size if I can. I made these this morning, even just with one potato, okay? Then I put them in a bowl, a microwave-safe bowl, and cover them in a wet paper towel, okay? And then I completely cover the potato with a saturated wet paper towel. You don't want to leave the paper towel dry. And then you microwave it probably for about 1 to 2 minutes. Stand by the microwave and watch it. Make sure there isn't any elements in the paper towel or left on the potato that might do something weird in the microwave. Just with caution. I always like to be careful. So don't walk away from the microwave when you try this, and you keep an eye on it. I've never had a problem, but you never know. It could be that one person that something happens. So, always use my disclaimer and err for caution on that. But I think that when you microwave the potato in the wet paper towel, the condensation from the heat wraps around the potato, and then you just leave it and let it kind of like cook within itself. It like steam heats the potato. And then when you take it out, you be very careful, because that wet paper towel, I think it gets like even hotter. I know that potatoes cook even when you take them out of an oven, they continue to keep cooking. Now these are sliced up potatoes, so they don't keep the heat kind of like in that potato that you usually do for a baked potato, but they still keep that heat for a while. So when I take that potato out of the microwave that I've put in there for about 2 minutes, I'm very careful not to touch. I don't even really usually touch the bowl, or I'll put mitts on. And then I'm really careful when I open it up. I'll use tongs and kind of keep it away from my face. Usually do it over the stove if it's hot, just so that I have like a safer area to do it on. And so then I'll open it up and I'll see that the steam kind of comes out, and then I'll just let it sit for a minute, and I'll poke my fork through it to see if it seems like it's cooked enough. And then what I do, this is cold, I didn't microwave it. Let's pretend I microwaved it. Okay, quick time. We're pretending here. But after it microwaves, it does get very kind of fluffy looking. And I will poke like a fork through it and see if it gets kind of soft. And then what I like to do is I take a pan that I've preheated up, a nice non-stick pan. This pan is the best pan I've ever used, and I've used a lot. It's called Sensorati. If I got sponsored by this company, I would love it. But it's the most beautiful pan. It comes with a glass top, see-through top. It's got a really nice gripping handle and another one at the other end to hold it. And then I preheat that pan. Today I used a dab of butter and a little bit of olive oil, just really plain. And then I put those potato slices in it flat, and I put the top on it, and I let it cook for a little while. I'll flip over those slices. I don't use any metal in these pans. I'm really careful. This one I've had for over a year, and it's kept up pretty well. Looks almost like brand new. I'll flip over those potato wedges about a minute on each side. I don't even really overcook it. And then today what I did was I put a little bit of water and recovered it so that steam came all over them. And then I took the lid off and I kind of turned the heat up to high, and I kind of flipped them and moved them all around. I want to show you the finished version. And I also put a little bit of mesquite flavoring. So I usually don't plan my videos. I really wing them. I just kind of go. But this is a piece that's from the refrigerator that I cooked this morning. Nice and soft and just perfect. And for years, I'm taking a bite because it's so delicious, even cold. For years, I would try to make the perfect hash browns when I would make breakfast. And I would buy frozen shoestring potatoes. I would buy all different kinds. This, I think, for me, is the best way to do it. If you like your potatoes a little softer, maybe microwaving them for a couple of minutes really isn't enough. So sometimes you can do 3 minutes. You can go back in and maybe do 2 additional minutes after the first 2. Just make sure you kind of slice those slices the same amount. Just make sure when you put them in that paper towel, okay? This is really, I think, the trick, is that you completely like encircle them in that wet paper towel. And some people don't use microwaves, so this might not be for everybody, okay? Maybe you could do it in the oven with tin foil in a little water. I've never tried that, but I did live without a microwave for a good couple of years, and I figured out ways to cook without a microwave. I just didn't have one, and I was fine without it, but some people don't like using microwaves. I use it when I think it's appropriate, and I do happen to have a microwave, so it's a nice way to kind of move along that cooking a little bit if you want to with certain foods. But you make sure that paper towel that you're using is wet, but not too wet that it drips. You just kind of want it almost like a snowball. You cover up that potato, put it in a microwave safe bowl, stay with it, don't walk away from the microwave, watch it about 2 minutes, take out of the microwave, leave it wrapped up. You'll see kind of like the steam and everything coming out. Be careful, put it someplace safe. If you want to open it up after a couple minutes, use tongs. Reopen it back up with some tongs. Don't touch it because it gets really hot, like really, really, really hot. And then if you think that you want to, you test them out, if they still seem really hard, because different potatoes have different consistencies. I was just watching something on a YouTube about, forgive my dog is getting a drink of water. I watched a YouTube about a certain type of potato that has a lot of sugar in it, and it's very starchy. And I think this potato is an Idaho potato, and it doesn't really seem very sugary. I like the consistency of it. I actually like the Yukon Gold yellow potatoes too. But this one I really, really liked today for the hash browns. I thought it had a nice kind of like earthy flavor to it. I left some of the skin on it. I did wash it very well with a little vinegar and water. And peeled like half of it, but I kind of like a little bit of that peel on my potato. You can take the peel off too. I certainly wouldn't tell somebody how to do it, but this is just an idea. When I saw Rachel Ray do it, and hi Rachel Ray, if you listen to this, I think you're amazing. Years ago, she took baking potatoes, she washed them really well, she left the skin on. She did fork poke them all over the potato, and then I think she wrapped them in tin foil. Oh no, excuse me. She put them in the microwave, wrapped in the paper towel that was wet. She put them in the microwave, I think for like maybe 5 minutes, and then she took them out. She was very careful how she unwrapped them, and I think maybe she might have let them sit for like 5 more additional minutes. And then she rewrapped them and put them in tin foil in the oven and let them cook a little bit in the oven. So she was like partially cooking the potato first so that she wouldn't have to have like the baked potato in the oven for like a whole hour. So it cut down on the cooking time because her recipes were 30-minute meals, which I used to love really making. And I did use a lot of her recipes and ideas that she made. And this one I've used for years, and I've shared it with a number of different people. And I mean, I always say people are smarter than me. Maybe somebody has a better way of doing it. Rachel Ray probably has some new ways that she does it. So I know that someone recently told me there's a really nice microwave that's out there that can do all different things. I just kind of have the basic microwave, but I think it works pretty well. But maybe there's just another way of doing it. But I think to make hash browns, I made them today, and I thought that they were just perfect. And I did put them in the pan. I kind of chopped them up a little bit. Once they started cooking in a little bit of butter and olive oil, flip them over, put a little bit of water, maybe like a quarter of a cup of water. Let that steam rise, put the lid back on the pan. Then after they seemed like they were cooked a little bit, I kind of moved them around in the pan. I put that mesquite seasoning on them, and then I kind of moved them around really fast in the pan to let all that water evaporate. And then they didn't get crunchy. I kind of wanted them to get a little crunchy. I could have cooked them more, but I was heading out to run some errands. And so these were quick hash browns, and they definitely got a double thumbs up. So I think that my husband really seemed to like them a lot. I think he was surprised that I actually made hash browns in the time that I also made some other things for breakfast. But they were a nice little addition. I had a small helping, and I really liked them. So maybe this will help somebody. If you try it, let me know in the comment section. And if you have a better way of doing it, please let me know. If anybody from this pan company sees this and they want to sponsor me, please get in touch with me. That would just make me so darn happy. This pan is just the best. And it's nice to have some hash browns once in a while. You know, it's a potato. It tastes good. Love, love, Jilly.